Hello, this is Monterey Jack coming to you live from Studio 7 Pluses in Las Vegas, Nevada. I have a true story for you today, yes. As I discussed in a previous video, in 1967 I worked at the Las Vegas Club, and I worked there for a few months, getting to know the dice game, actually being on the game and out of school. And then I moved down to the Mint, got a job there. I went in looking for the job, and back then you didn't need to fill out a whole lot of paperwork, because I went up to the shift boss. It was pointed out to me, and I said, I'm looking for a job dealing dice. And he said, well, go over on that game over there, you're hired, we'll do the paperwork later. Yeah, that was the way you did it back then, the way they did it back then. And so I worked at the Mint for a while. The toughest part about the Mint was there were rock and roll bands probably about 30 feet away from the table, and man, it was hard to hear the calls from what we called the stick man who called out the dice. And yeah, that was a little tough. You had to kind of hawk, had to do a little hawking, and bosses didn't like any hawking. Hawking meant you turned your head and looked down the table, and turned your head, somebody could reach in there and grab some checks from you. So that's, yeah, no hawking, please. So anyway, worked at the Mint there for a few months, and then guy came into the Mint and asked if anybody had what they called good hands. In other words, they were a good dealer, and I was one of the ones pointed out, and so I was hired on the spot there to work at the Bonanza. So I worked at the Bonanza for a while, for a few months, and yeah, the mafia was taking the money out the back door, so I was told. I wouldn't know, really. So that's a iffy. But anyway, the Bonanza shut down, and that's when I went to the Dunes. I think it was around 1970. Yeah, 1970. And from there, it was really a very nice job. Very livable, money. So yeah, life became a lot easier, I will say, you know, buying cars and boats and houses and all that good stuff. Living the life of Riley. How many of you know the life of Riley? Okay, that's a little story for you today, how I started at the Vegas Club and worked my way up, so to speak, to the Strip. And oh, by the way, back then, it was an unwritten law, but you had to have like 2 years experience before you could even get hired on the Strip. Of course, that was changed later on as life goes on. Yeah. So anyway, this is Monterey Jack wishing all of you a wonderful life. Be strong, be safe. Love you. Later.